Welcome back to the channel. Our special thanks to all of you who subscribe to This Garden Bliss. It's near the end of November, and today we're at the front of the house raking up the leaves, then mulching them up for the garden bed. After that, we'll be planting more tulips. As you can see, the front bed is a real trap for all the windblown leaves and other litter coming down the street. A lot of leaves this year, even though we had an amazing autumn. Well, we have 2 large oak trees on the property and a Kings and Cream maple and a few magnolias. So the leaves just get caught up in the garden and we rake them up, caught up in the garden. Even the leaf blower broke, so we were just stuck with raking. And as you'll see later, we mulched them up with the grass trimmer.
That's right. And so the red horse chestnut is a beautiful tree, but it has large leaves. So we've had the wonderful opportunity
to rake them over and over and over again.
We've had the wonderful opportunity to also see them grow. We went from tiny little leaves to these large maple leaves now.
And even the oak trees were saplings when we moved in.
Right. So now we have mature trees. So that explains all the leaves on the property.
Time and time again.
Yes.
Wonderful joy. Colorado blue spruce is about 25 years old, and at the time, the tag had said it was of the dwarf variety, but now it's about 30 feet tall, which is pretty incredible. We're going to be trimming it for our winter garden containers.
I love this Colorado blue spruce. It's been great to have it next to the porch, and it's provided so much protection from the wind from the north side of the house. And now here we are approaching the center island bed, and this is a island bed that's in succession planting. Throughout the season we have a variety of different perennials. Tulips are planted here, but today we'll be adding more tulips in for a spring display. So we have leaves in here that I will be leaving some in to protect the roots of the plants.
Well, it's a great natural mulch to have. We did have some rabbits living in this bed for a while, but we used human hair, and they certainly don't like the smell of us being around, so they moved out all on their own.
So on this side of the island bed, we'll be adding more tulips for a larger spring display. Now, these perennial tulips were planted in 2020. They've returned year after year. They are perennial tulips. The double look like a peony.
They're just so yellow. Amazing. So here we are raking up the leaves and gathering for mulching. But of course, this is done week after week after week till they're all gone, of course. Really did have such a beautiful autumn. Lots of sunny days and some rain, but you can't really mulch up the wet leaves. So we wait till it's all dried up or put it in a bag and then wait till they're dry. But everything gets mulched up into the blue box. A large compost bin comes in very handy when you want to compress stuff and fill for future mulching. Sometimes we put a bag inside first and then just compress it.
So while the leaves are getting mulched, I'm back in the garden and I'm planting these tulips on the left side of the bed among the lavender. We have a lavender drift around the front as well as Nepeta, and so I'm dreaming of a beautiful spring display in this front garden bed. Now, right now I'm at the side of the garden, the north courtyard garden, where we have a flame art.
Ironworks. Yeah.
Ironworks. That's the correct word.
Sure.
And so now we have the bulbs that are going to be planted here to enhance the current bulbs that were planted here in 2020 as well.
Is that special fertilizer you're using there?
Yes, those are the special bulb fertilizer. You put that in, and then you plant the bulb around it. It gives the nutrients that it's needed. And I'm not really planting in the center of the flame because there are alliums planted there. So there will be a picture. We're going to put a picture up in a minute of what the actual display looks like.
Gorgeous.
There is hostas in here, and this is the romance series for tulips for that spring. However, I was a little disappointed because the darker colors weren't there.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm adding in some dark color around the sphere. So here I am, and I am planting very quickly.
You do it very individually, the one by one.
Well, it's in a circle. However, this was a very cold November day. It was November 30th, and I was thinking if I do not get these tulips in today, it wasn't going to happen. So I had the camera.
The gloves are something for the dirt. You're cold.
Yes, I'm cold. However, I'm a diehard gardener. Actually, we're gardening right into mid-December, right before Christmas.
Going on Christmas Day. That's what we're going to do.
So this is a beautiful display in the spring on the north side of the house. At first, I thought this area didn't get enough sun, but when I realized and really took a look at the light exposure, it's light shade, and the tulips actually last much longer in this area as far as blooms are concerned. If your tulips are in the sun, they fade very, very quickly.
Any idea how many you have in that bed?
Okay, this bed have approximately 200 tulips.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so now it's planted, and the dirt it's covered now with dirt, but we will be mulching in here. You are with the mulch. It looks kind of coarse this year.
Yeah, I didn't chop it up all completely.
Yes.
I don't want a powdery mulch.
Right. I love it powdery on the roses though, but this is fine. I'll take it because it's getting cold.
Yeah, it's getting cold.
So
my hands are red.
So I really appreciated you mulching these leaves and getting them on this these tulips that I planted back here, as well as we have the tulips planted in the other courtyard garden.
With the other sphere.
And we have a picture that we're going to show you of the beautiful spring display as well. And I love this.
Once again, we're back into the studio because it's so darn cold outside. But great place to put things together. What are you doing here, honey?
Yeah, I'm going to be planting some tulips in a container. So in April, for Easter, I love having tulips that are already planted in a container. And I take this container when the tulips are just coming up, and I put them right into the planter.
All the way down to the bottom?
No, just at the top. And usually the tulips are in the middle with the planter. And then I have the greenery that I've kept from the blue spruce from the winter. And then it's instantly a spring
Right.
Easter display.
Is it only the one container you did, or did you?
I am only doing one container, and I will be putting it into the big planter in the front of the house.
All right.
And so this will be ready. This is what we see in the stores where the tulips are forced. I can keep this in the greenhouse for the winter with the heat off because we use it as a cold frame during the winter, or I can just keep this right in the garage. So here I have planted them up in the container. I'm watering it in, and I'm just going to cover it with a little bit of moss, and I will just leave it in the cart. Here are the colors that we've chosen, consistent, beautiful Easter colors, and that will be wonderful.
And here we are trimming the very large dwarf Colorado blue spruce. And the clippings that are falling will be used from containers. Nice and fresh, blue, greeny tint to it. It's great. Can't get enough of it. And it works quite well. even the base of the tree, we can use hand pruners. As you can see, comes in very handy because you also have to do around the tree at the skirt level.
And as we move into the Christmas season, this is part of our routine. We trim the tree, and now we have some greenery, a mix of cedars, so we can add into our winter garden containers.
No, not those pretty rocks though.
I'm sure you're all getting ready for your winter garden season.
See you in the next video. We did it.